Wow, it's finally happening. The Lakers put together a spectacular second half led by their stars and great play from their role players, and overall a great team effort as they were able to get their revenge against the Miami Heat. And this win could put the Lakers back on track. What's good? I'm Okechi Apakama along with Hunter Pitcoff coming at you guys with another video for Lakers Digest. And before we get into everything we have for you guys, just remember to subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already to get those Laker updates because we are pushing out videos fast and furious. But the Lakers tonight, having played the Miami Heat, they got their revenge and they were able to get a much needed victory and stop a 3-game skid. Hunter, how you feeling about it?
Well, it's always nice to get your lick back, and after the Lakers they've had a lot of really bad games this season, Okechi, but the Miami Heat game in South Beach was the worst game the Lakers had this season. From the jump, you knew this game was over. And it seemed like it was going to head in that direction again, as Tyler Hero was just looking like JJ Redick said in the postgame, Steph Curry out there hitting his crazy step back, pull up in transition threes. Didn't really seem like he could miss at all. And the Lakers bunker up in the second half. It was a total team effort, like you said, Okechi. It seemed like almost everybody contributed in some way, shape, or form. They locked in. They were leading on the court. JJ harping on leadership during these last few days while the Lakers have had time to practice. And that's what it took. It was a gutsy win. It was an important win for the Lakers. And it was important to get their confidence back after 3 really rough losses over the last week or so.
They're really rough losses. Also teams from Texas, weirdly enough. But let's hop into that recap because the Lakers complete the comeback. They were down by, I believe, 12 at halftime, but they were able to rally together, led by their stars. LeBron James had an incredible fourth quarter. But first, to get there, let's take a look at those stats for the game here as Anthony Davis had 22 points. Hachimura actually led the way in scoring with 23 and 8 rebounds. That's a big thing for him because he is really struggled on the glass. LeBron James had 22 points along with 9 assists and 5 rebounds. He was 9 of 14 from the field and really took over in that fourth quarter for the Lakers. Reaves, 14 points, 14 assists, 1 turnover. Really like that for Austin Reaves. And then Max Christie, 16 points, had 3 3-pointers. And was trying his best against Tyler Hero, but he was fantastic. And then Gabe Vincent really had a nice revenge game there with 14 points. So, Hunter, just giving you those stats, like, how do you think some of these guys fare for the Lakers? Let's start with LeBron, because LeBron was the one who took us home there.
Yeah, I mean, LeBron did what LeBron almost has always done throughout his entire career, is he plays his best basketball when it matters most. And you could tell too, like after he hit one shot, I believe it was a mid-range shot, and you could tell in his eyes and the way he was just moving on the court that he was gonna really take over this game. He was feeling it, hit multiple threes, multiple jump shots, setting up guys, caught a lob as well from Austin Reaves to really help spark the comeback in the second half for the Lakers. And overall, LeBron did exactly what he needed to do, especially at the end, and really let a lot of these other guys cook as well. LeBron is very good, especially later in his career, picking and choosing his spots and making sure his teammates are able to eat because he knows he can get his shot when he wants. Hachimura, a really quiet but impactful 23 points, and despite the fact that the Lakers were down by 12 at half, it was really Hachimura and Anthony Davis that helped keep them in the game with their scoring and being able to at least, overcome a really, really bad second quarter. Because first quarter they got it going, but second quarter I think they're like 3 of 15.
Yeah, the second quarter, that's where they really fell behind there, because at the end of the first they were only down by 4 points, but the Heat had 38 points in that first quarter. So a lot of it though had to do with Miami Heat and just their great shooting. I mean, if we take a look at their stats for the game, Tyler Hero was just incredible. 12 of 14, 7 of 12 from 3, had 34 points to lead their squad there. Bam Adebayo, who didn't play against the Clippers, but magically is healthy and ready to play against the Lakers, had 10 points and 5 assists. Haywood Highsmith had 12 points, had a couple of threes. Hawkins Jr., LA product, had 11 points. And then off the bench there, they had a nice game from Jovic. Had 12 points, and then a Khalil Aware, who was had some pretty really impactful minutes for them. 8 points, 11 rebounds, and only 18 minutes for them. So they had a nice, real team effort from those guys, led by Tyler Hero. But the Lakers had to overcome that in that second quarter, because the second quarter they really kind of just almost like fell apart a little bit, as some of the things we've seen in the past with the Lakers, just they were just being very nonchalant with a couple of things. The Heat were getting to every single loose ball. They had their bench guys really making an impact. Nobody on the Lakers bench was making an impact. So it was nice to see the Lakers turn that around there in that second half.
Yeah, and also too, Bam might actually be hurt a little bit here. I'm not saying he wasn't. Magically he was ready to go against the Lakers, but Khalil Ware was definitely the better big man of the two. Like when he was out there, I would have also have liked to have, if I was the Heat, have seen. And thank God they didn't, because we are Lakers Digest here. But Bam and Khalil Ware together. I don't know how much they play together on the court at the same time, but like defensively, that's gonna cause nightmares. And they said that Khalil Ware is 7 foot. I think he's taller than that, because he was
Yeah, he's got a really long wingspan, I think, so that's what makes him taller than he actually is.
I was really impressed with what I saw out of him. He's a really good player at Indiana University, and coming into the league, someone who I thought the Lakers could potentially target, but he wasn't even there when they picked. And then of course Dalton Knecht fell. But the Miami Heat played a really good game. I knew Okechi at some point. I'm like, they have to cool off at some point here in the second half. Like, there's just no way. Basketball is a game of peaks and valleys, and there's just no way they're going to shoot this well. But when they do cool off, the Lakers need to capitalize, and they did. Right? They came out strong in the third quarter. I thought even despite the fact that they were down in the second quarter, it didn't seem like they gave up, they quit, or the intensity was down. They just were playing really bad and could not hit a shot. But the Lakers, they got their second win. They were able to hit shots. They got key stops when it mattered most, and ultimately, that was it. It was a total team effort. It took everybody to do it, and they did.
Yep, and let's get into some more of those like individuals, because Austin, I thought, had a really nice game, very controlled, like point guard ish game. 14 points, 14 assists, 1 turnover. That's really big, having a 14-1 turnover ratio. So what do you think about a guy like Austin? Because like Miami does have some players out there on the perimeter that can send that. They had Highsmith even guarding him at some portions of the game. So what do you think about Austin and his game?
Yeah, I think the thing that Austin probably has struggled with the most since really becoming the lead guard of the Lakers is the turnovers. And I think when he plays not at his best, it's when he gets a lot of ball pressure toward the top of the key once he crosses half court with bigger defenders. So the Miami Heat, they recognize this. They put Haywood Highsmith on him. But Austin stayed a lot more calm, cool, and composed in this game. And as a result, he has probably his best game as a point guard for the Lakers this season. I mean, 14-1 assist to turnover ratio. That doesn't get much better than at Okechi. And Austin Reaves, I thought, was so much more in control. If he can continue to play like this, not to expect 14 assists every night,
No.
but if he can continue to be this guy who is really just taking control of the offense, making the right reads, and going at his own pace, like he is as a scorer, but also as a playmaker as well. He's got the IQ, and he's a good enough player. He's going to figure it out. Austin, to me, has never been a concern on this roster, and he's going to be just fine.
Yeah, he's always one of those guys who, like, you kind of need him to give him some like leeway to help him like grow and get better, because like that's kind of happened in his whole progression of his career. Pretty much, like the Lakers gave him more playing time the better he played, and then he made some mistakes along the way, but he was able to learn from those mistakes and grow and get better. So it's nice to see Austin trying to like settle it into this point guard role, because we're gonna need him, especially coming down the stretch here. But we talked about Austin, we talked about LeBron, let's even talk about Rui. But the guy who had the revenge game really kind of surprised us. Our friend Cardio Gabe, Gabe Vincent had 14 points in
He started to play well.
Yeah, he played well. He was not Cardio Gabe. He was almost shades of Miami Heat Gabe, and part of it I think it is because he was playing the Miami Heat, a little bit of the revenge aspect, but also knowing where to be, because Miami played zone a lot in this game, and Gabe Vincent was finding some of the right spots to be in that zone, whether it was he receiving a pass from LeBron James or he was dribbling into the middle, because he hit a couple of turnaround mid-range shots there that really helped the Lakers get back in this game.
Yeah, and having a guy like Gabe Vincent against his former team in the revenge game is actually good. I mean, obviously you know your opponent, but the Miami Heat, unlike many teams in the NBA, actually run a fair amount of zone. So the fact that Gabe Vincent is aware of how to break down the Miami Heat zone because he knows how the defense works, I think helped. And he's getting to his spots by attacking from the closeouts from three, going into the paint and kind of hitting like that 12 to 15 foot jumper right near the foul line. I think he had one over Khalil Ware, who seemed like he was getting, his hand on just about
Everything.
every
Yep.
shot near the basket, or in the contest. So Gabe was, and that's what Gabe's actually been very good at in his career too, is shooting off the dribble like that. And so it was nice to see him be more than just like a 3-and-D 6'2" guard and actually use his playmaking ability to get shots for himself. That isn't just a spot up 3-point shot.
I mean, that's you hit right there on the head with Gabe and just the way that he played tonight. And if he's able to continue this effort and really be like another guard the Lakers can go to, this can be massive for this Lakers squad because if they can get another guard to go along with LeBron James and Austin Reaves, then that kind of like varies like my concern about the Lakers guard issue and so the guard play because we traded D'Angelo Russell and a lot of people were wondering, okay, where's the playmaking going to come from? Where is this initial scoring going to come from? And if Gabe can just provide some of that, he doesn't have to do that necessarily every night because I know he's going to bring the defense. But if he can be a guy that can give you 10, 12 points a night, I think it could be solid for the Los Angeles Lakers.
Yeah, and on top of that too, Dalton Knecht's got to play better.
Mm,
Because
that's another guy I wanted to bring up. Yep.
uh, not to be super negative here, Okechi,
Yeah.
but with Dalton Knecht, a big reason they make that D'Angelo Russell trade is their belief in Dalton Knecht, and they're not the same basketball player, guys. Do not quote us on this,
Hmm.
but Dalton Knecht can provide that quick, you know, almost like heater type of performances. We've seen him do it for the Lakers this season, where he just heats up in a hurry. He shoots the basketball. He can score on all three levels. Not in the same way as D'Angelo Russell. It's different, but in a way that you would like for a guard to come off your bench to do. And he has just not done that consistently. In fact, I think since December, he's been shooting like 19% from three.
Yeah,
It,
that's they put it on the broadcast 19%. He was 0 for today. So
it's probably worse now.
yeah. It's just like the confidence doesn't seem like it's there for Dalton Connect like it was to start the season.
Yeah, and he's a rhythm player too. I think he's gonna figure it out because I do think he's extremely talented. I mean, we've seen the flashes where he can almost single-handedly take over a game, and there's not really many rookies in the NBA you can say that with confidence. So the fact that this is a very, very rough rookie wall he's hit, we'll see what the Lakers do. I don't think he'll be in a trade, although I wouldn't rule it out depending on who the player is. But if they presumably keep him at the deadline, and if they do make a move and it's not someone that would be the Dalton Knecht replacement, it does show you that they have a lot more confidence in him and they think he's going to be okay.
Yeah. I do think though his playing time could diminish, especially if we start to see more Jared Vanderbilt. I know they bring different aspects as players, but Vando combined with Finney Smith, you kind of get more of a defensive upgrade over Dalton, and Dalton might be used more in like spot situations, kind of like where Cam is being used in the rotation. How he's kind of just like in there as a placeholder, and then I feel like once Vando comes back, uh, Dalton might slide back in the rotation a little bit just because of his play. He could come back and, if he's able to, the law of averages and everything and get back to at least like 35, 36, usual 3-point shooting percentage for like a good shooter. I think he can get back to that, but it definitely is going to just take him just kind of shooting his way out of it, essentially, just to get over that hump. But let's move on to our next thing because the Lakers actually have a couple of the next couple of games here is pretty in their favor as we talk about just what will this win get the Lakers back on track. And so, Hunter, what are some of the things we're seeing here in the schedule for the Lakers that they can get back on track? Because they do have the Brooklyn Nets coming up next on the schedule, but they do have some other teams that are really just not good enough or playing well enough here in this point of the season.
Yeah, the reason why I'm laughing, okay, just right before we recorded this, We were keeping an eye out on some of the games tonight. There were 11 games across the NBA Wednesday
Mm-hmm.
night, and one of them was in Los Angeles as well, at
Oh.
Intuit Dome with the Clippers. And the Brooklyn Nets were down by like I think they lost by 59 points. I'm catching.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so pretty brutal for the Brooklyn Nets, and now they're gonna have to play the Lakers Friday night here as well. And I don't know what the over under is gonna be after that game.
I
We'll see
it
D'Angelo Russell play.
Yeah, but like like they need kind of like Cam Thomas. I don't think he's been playing for quite some time. I think he's been injured or something like that. So Cam Thomas has been out. That's like their leading scorer. Cam Johnson didn't play tonight. So like when those guys don't play and the Nets are already a pretty under par team, then you're gonna get stuff like this. These like lopsided scores because that didn't seem real. It seems like a high
Yeah,
school like basketball score. That's how bad it is.
pretty much. Yeah. Most rec league games around the country probably wouldn't be that bad. But I will say this though. I mean, they also have the Wizards twice. In the rest of the month of January, they play the Hornets. They do play the Clippers. They also play the Celtics. They play the Warriors, who haven't been playing as well recently, although they won tonight. So they have some very winnable games. Now, Lakers have proven necessarily not all games are winnable, but
Mm-hmm.
in theory, they are playing some of the worst basketball teams in the NBA. I know they are now 9-12 in the Eastern Conference. That should go up quite a bit with some of these games coming up. And if the Lakers look, if they've proven anything this season, Okechi, they are consistently inconsistent. And perhaps this win against the Heat will be the up for the Los Angeles Lakers this year or this month. And then they just had their down moment with a 3-game losing streak. So we'll
Well,
see. I don't
yeah, I don't know. We'll see because like we'll probably get Vando here back in the next couple of days, and I do think it is kind of good that you're playing these poor teams because it kind of gives you some leeway to like, hey, just go out there, play hard. You don't have to really like be tuned into like the game plan. Just like get out there, get some reps because if you can get some reps against a team like the Wizards, while you have like a big lead or something like that, then you're able to get some of these guys, more back into playing shape, especially a guy like Vanda who can be very crucial to the squad if he's healthy. Keyword if he's healthy.
Definitely. And not a super big breaking news here, Okechi, because we kind of knew it was going to happen anyway. But the Lakers officially just announced the signing of Jamison from
Hmm.
the New Orleans Pelicans. We just made a video, so check it out, guys. Lakers released Quincy Oliveri, a fan favorite of the Lakers. We love his
Tough.
story, but he's no longer going to be a two-way player. But Trey Jemison from the Pelicans, a big man, will be a two-way player for the Lakers. So it's official, guys. Not a Woj bomb or anything like that, but the
Yeah,
Lakers
yeah.
officially just announced it.
But yeah, but before we wrap up here, let's talk about that a little bit. Just, I mean, because I know I'm probably not the only one here thinking this opinion, but like, just kind of why the Lakers did that because it's another big man. You already have Christian Coloco on a two-way. Tromel is essentially a big man. He's like 6'8", 6'9", but he plays like a center. And then you also have Christian Wood and Jackson Hayes on the roster. So what kind of is the thinking behind this, or what do you think, Hunter?
Well, it is interesting because we do know that this past 24 hours on Wednesday evening that Nick Richards was traded from the Hornets to the Phoenix Suns. And that was someone who I think the Lakers definitely had their eye on as a potential center option in the trade market. He was only making $5 million a year. Wouldn't have taken too much to get him. It took 2 second-round picks and Josh Okogie from the Phoenix Suns to get it done. So I think for the Lakers here, that's one less player that they can really target here. And because they traded D'Angelo Russell, who is the player who had the highest annual per year contract for the Lakers that they realistically would trade because they're not going to trade LeBron or Anthony
Mm-mm.
Davis. That leaves their options a little bit more thin here. And so maybe they look more to guys like a Jonas Valanciunas or Robert Williams. Those are probably a couple names I think they could target unless they go all in on Vucevic or Miles Turner maybe becomes available. But I think for the Lakers, if they don't think they can get those guys, they are going to be a little more cautious here and signing a guy like Trey Jemison from the Pelicans. Maybe they see something that we don't. He has some NBA experience. He has played for them because they're also one of the worst teams in the NBA this year with the injuries they've had.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, maybe Hayes is on the move too, or maybe they're not really trusting Christian Wood's progress right now. We really don't have many
Yeah,
updates on him
I
at
do
all.
think
So I
I
think
do
something
think
with
Rob Pelinka has a plan. I don't know if it's the right plan, but I do think he does have a plan. I know it seems kind of like out there, everything seems kind of wonky, but the Lakers, I just from the looks of it, they probably are going to make another trade, but it just depends on who they're trading and what they're trading for, whether it's that big man that we're looking for or just another guard. But I do think there's something planning up there. I don't know if it's the right plan, but some Rob's cooking up something. Hopefully
he's
it'd be
cooking up something. Let's see if it's edible.
hopefully it's something good. But just okay, just a final thoughts there on the game. Lakers were able to take this one from Miami Heat. Hunter.
Well, it feels good. We can finally make a post game video, Okechi, and we can actually talk about a win. It
Yeah.
was pretty miserable. Talk about these losses that the Lakers have had and the type of losses. I mean, horrible game against the Mavericks. Had a nice comeback against the Rockets, but they shouldn't have been down that bad to begin with. And then the Miami Heat, another game where they were behind, but they get a nice come from behind win. So it's great to see, we can finally talk about a win, guys. Phew. Thank God. And hopefully we can talk about more wins here, as well as everything surrounding your Lakers on our channel.
Exactly, and just reminding you guys once again, there is a lot of new people here. We're pushing towards 5,000 subscribers towards the end of the month, and we can get there if we can get each and every one of you guys who have recently watched our videos to subscribe to the channel. There is about 91% of you guys who have not subscribed to the channel and who have watched our videos here. So if you guys want to have that more Laker content, updates, and guys, we read the comments. So put in the comments if anything you want to see here on the channel, because we will talk about here on Lakers Digest, because we are here for you. And also just one more thing, just because the fires are still going on here in the Los Angeles area, and if you are in a place where you can donate, try to, because it's going to take the whole city of Los Angeles to help rebuild those areas and those communities. So, and the Lakers also have set up a drive as well. So if you go to a Laker game here within the next couple of days here, you can drop off, I believe, canned foods and also, clothes, shoes, just the essential stuff. So just keep those in mind and keep everybody dealing with the LA fires, because they're still going on here in Los Angeles. But I have been your host, Okechi Apakama, along with Hunter Pitcoff, and we will catch you guys on the next one.